outside. Holy shit! Sweet. There's like 4 of them.
Well, let's get this phone ring and talk to Josh
Please
about
enjoy
fight,
this
man.
Verizon ringback tone while your party is reached.
You got a friend in
We got a ringtone.
Sweet.
You got a friend in me.
Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Good evening, Josh.
Yeah, speaking.
Hey, this is Big Perm with Uncensored MMA Online Radio. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm alive and kicking, man. I couldn't be better. Thanks for
Right on.
asking. Well, Josh, I'm sitting here with my co-host. I got with me Dave the Butcher Clifford. Dave, are you there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be talking with you, and just can't wait to hear about some of the stuff and what you got coming in the future, man.
Right on. Likewise. Thank you.
Well, Josh, as I was introducing you and making the phone call, I was telling the listeners, you're a Michigan MMA fighter, fought the guys, the likes of Rich Hale, Thiago Santos, Eric Prindle, all those guys in Bellator. You've got an MMA record here. I don't know, I'm seeing it different in other places, 7-6, 5-4. But what's your official record, man?
Well, it should read 10-4.
10-4?
Yes.
Because I was seeing different things all over the place, and I didn't want to misquote it, so I figured the first thing I'd do is just ask you, man.
No, I got
None of them shits are ever right.
Yeah. That's true.
10 different things. At least one thing I'm really happy to see when I looked it up was that you beat Jeff Kugel up.
Yeah, I got no problems with Jeff now. He's a good guy, but
he's cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just glad.
Right on.
Well, first things first. Since our show is, now we're talking to you on the PatinoDiet.com hotline. One of the obviously when we reached out and we're talking to you, I was directed from Dr. Patino to you to talk about this, and you are like the poster child for these guys. You lost 63 pounds in like just under 4 months on this, just by reading a book and following and changing your lifestyle. Why don't you go ahead and share that experience a little bit for us, and let our listeners know, and let anybody that wants to tune into this later on our archives or YouTube, how easy this is, and how this isn't something that you are signing up for. I mean, you are in a sense, but this isn't something. This is a one-shot deal, and it's cool like that. Go ahead and explain it. You can do it better than I can.
Well, pretty much it's a low glycemic approach. It's a lifestyle change, so it's not a fad diet. So, and basically, Dr. Patino approached me after I blew my ACL out when I was fighting with Thiago Santos, and I completely tore it, and I had a reconstruction in December, and that's when he sat down with me, and we went over, and he just goes, I really think that you should try to drop some weight, and he has a machine in his office which is called a DEX scan. Did a DEX scan on my body, and I was capable of hitting 205 at a lower body fat, a very low body fat percentage, and he presented it to me, explained it to me, and the low glycemic approach. It's pretty simple. You read the book. There's no other way to explain it. It's just really simple. You need to just read it, and then you follow the guidelines. You go off, you base it off the glycemic index. You essentially want to hit everything about a 50 and under for a fighter if you're trying to drop that weight. And I stuck to it, and within I had just come off ACL surgery, and I fought 4 months after having ACL reconstruction, and I believe with the composition of my body changing, the health of my body was changing. I healed quicker. Most guys don't even start doing jogging or anything like that until 6 months after an ACL reconstruction, and I was fighting at 4. So I was at full speed probably at about 3 months post surgery, and my belief is the nutrition aspect of it was the key for me, because everything cleaned up, and I just got a lot leaner, a lot tighter, and it just it took about 2 weeks for me to acclimate to everybody knows what I'm talking about. Get the junk out of your system, and get junk food, fast food or the chips or, I'm a big, Dr. Patino always makes fun of me because I like Skittles. So, I cut Skittles out and, did all that and, kept just a clean diet. I still ate. I wasn't calorically deprived. So, in other words, I wasn't food deprived. I was able to eat nice helpings of food. And so I wasn't always hungry. And, you got to think, not only was I training for a fight first time at 205, but I also, I was coming off of a major surgery for my knee. And everything just, seemed to gel, and it just worked real well. And I basically followed it to the T, and it literally, it came off. I got down to, I think, the picture that they have up, I was about 217 in that picture. So obviously I weighed in. I had to weigh 206, and that's at a pretty low body fat percentage is what I got down to, and it worked. And, the first time's always the hardest. So now instead of walking around at I roughly walked around about 280, 282, usually back in a year ago, 2 years ago. And now I'm walking around about 240, 245. And once I hit camp and I start training, I'm walking around about 235, 230, which makes only a 25-pound cut, which is tremendously easy. And, and I'm fighting guys that I should be fighting because I'm only 5'11". So, these guys that I were fighting, Thiago, even Rich, all these guys are all, 6'4", 6'5", they're all.
Rich hits hard.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Rich is stud. He's a hell of a fighter, and got a lot of respect for him. He's a good guy too. So
he's a good friend of the show. We've had him on a couple times, and I got to meet him when we went and covered some Bellator events. Now, before you go any further here, there's a couple things I wanted to ask you about. Number one was, have you tried any other diets before this, and did you get into anything, or did you try to lose weight before your injury, and what was the differences in those diets? And is this a one-time purchase? All you have to do is buy a book, and if you can follow it, you can change your life, whether you're obese, whether you're an athlete, or whether you're just trying to change what kind of fuel you're using to to get your body going.
Well, as far as the nutritional, have I tried other nutritional stuff? Of course, I fight professionally, so I'm trying all kinds of stuff, but obviously nothing ever really worked. And the laundry list is so long, I wouldn't even want to sit here and start naming them, but I've tried pretty much everything. And as far as the book's concerned, the thing that I like the best about it, is Dr. Patino is, he's a real person. He's a real guy. He's just a normal person. And all he's doing, he's selling education. That's it. That book is just educating you. You don't got to buy pills. You don't have to buy powders. You don't have to re-up every 3 months.
Great.
It's just, a $20 book. $20 book. It educates you, and if you follow it, you learn it. You can make up your own stuff, based off the glycemic index. I mean, you can come up with a million different things, and it's really, you can acclimate to it very easy and make it a lifestyle change. Not, it's not a fad. So it's more or less an education that you're getting for $20 that can change your life. In my opinion, that's my opinion.
Now, do you have groups of people out there, I'm sure on Facebook and Twitter and like maybe message boards where there's people sharing like old recipes or whatever, success stories? I'm sure on the website as well. I mean, do you have a pretty large group of people now? I mean, friends of mine are using this. I mean, I know people that pro fighters in Michigan here are swearing by this, and it's making their life easier. And it's tell me about that.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of guys. Got a lot of guys doing it, and guys that didn't think they would be able to shed any weight, and sharing photos, and we all talk about, we bounce things off each other. As far as fighters wise, they come in. Guys kind of come to me since I was the first guy, but I'm like, these guys all have great ideas. I'm really simplistic. I'm basic. When I really want to buckle down, I'm very simple. And these guys are coming to me with these pretty nice recipes. Leroy Johnson, he was coming to me with actually, matter of fact, tonight we got done training, was talking about some salmon with some almond-crusted salmon or something. I was like, I didn't even know what it was. So he's sitting there explaining to me how he made it. It just sounded great. And it's a low-glycemic dinner, and you can eat a lot of it, and so it's fun. It's fun, and it works. And you're watching guys that were used to walking around 280, 290, 300 pounds, and they're now 270, 260. and they're not calorically deprived. They're not hungry. They feel stronger. They feel like things are fitting them looser, but they feel stronger. That's my biggest key to this whole thing was I didn't lose any muscle. You know, I was a big dude, and I just carried my fat well. That was pretty much what it was.
Yeah, you were big, bro.
So yeah, so you know, and I was, I'll be honest with you, I was skeptical. I was like, man, I don't know, you know, and he goes, let's put you on the scanner. You know, they put me through the body scanner, and I came out at like 29% body fat when I fought Thiago and I fought Eric Prendel. Like, I was really heavy, and you know, so after we did that, he goes, Josh, he goes, I'm looking at it here. He goes, you could do it. You could do this. You'd have to buckle down, but you'd have to, you know, follow the nutritional program to a T. And he goes, and we could get this done. He goes, you could get this done. And so that's what we did. And lo and behold, you know, I think I gained almost 6 pounds of muscle in that 3 months when I dropped all that weight. So that was probably what impressed me the most, is that I didn't lose my muscle mass. So I was just as strong, you know. So it just it was a nice experience. Obviously, the fight didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but besides that, you know, who knew Rich Hill could actually punch at 205? I give him crap about that all the time. So, but no, he hit hard. He hit like a freight train, and I just, honest to goodness, he wasn't ready for him. So, but I felt great. I felt like $1 million going into the cage. My hands were, you know, Mark Coleman's like a big brother to me, and we were backstage. He was warming me up, and my hands were quick and fast and strong. And I'll be honest with you, it was the most confident I've ever felt before a fight in my life. And, you know, just obviously sometimes it only takes one punch to change a fight, you know, and unfortunately that happened. But physically, I felt like $1 million. So, you know, and obviously that's all contributed to the diet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you went and won your last fight in September when fought a Gladiator Challenge. I love those guys over there, actually. So what do you got coming up? I mean, are you training right now? Are you staying fight ready? You know, you're talking about what you're walking around at now. It's a little better. What do you got coming up in the future? Anything?
Well, we just got an offer to fight Bobby Lashley, so we're trying to tie that down. Just pretty, you know, it's pretty short notice, so we're trying to negotiate an extension on the time, but that's for Titan, I believe Titan, and then also SFL wants us to go over. I think it's in India.
India, yeah, I know that. I watched those, dude.
Yeah, those are great. That's a great show over there, man.
Yeah. So,
I want to announce them. I want to work there.
Well,
bad.
Yeah, so that's where it's at. That's what I'm doing right now. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, I want to stay at 205, and you know, I'll be dead honest with you. You know, I've had offers. You know, there's been some rumbling and talkings about going to the bigger promotions and things of that nature. But I pretty much, you know, where I got my heart set on is I want to fight 205. I want to fight 205 for Bellator, and I want to do the tournament. So I've got to do what I got to do to get there, and you know, I got to get back in the good graces of Sam and you know, Bjorn. You know, we have a great relationship, but you know, obviously I gotta put some wins together, and you know, the only way to do that is I gotta fight. So for right now, you know, pretty much just being systematic and being smart with what we do. Now the Bobby Lashley fight, that's just a good fight for me. It's just a good fight. Stylistically speaking, it's a good fight for me. So, you know, yeah, I would fight him at heavyweight, you know. So but besides that, I would try to fight at 205. So, but that's pretty much what I have going on.
Well, Josh, I just had one other question, just to get back to the diet, the Patino Diet, for just 1 second. Obviously, you know, we're spreading the word about it here on the show, you know, around the Illinois area. Are there any kind of like seminars or anything that you may be involved with, or that Dr. Patino does, that kind of like hands-on kind of, you know, training or, you know, knowledge given?
Well, right now I know that he's working with Team Alpha Male, some of the Twisted Gentiles like Scotty Jorgensen, where he'll sit down and talk to those guys. I don't know if he has anything in the future planned for actual sit-down seminars with guys. I mean, it's a great idea. I think he's going to probably do like a web seminar. Like he's going to do stuff like we're hoping to do, you know, monthly things on the web, on his website, from my understanding. So, but as of now, the only thing I know is that, like, I know he's slotted to go out to California and sit down with all the alpha male fighters and go through nutrition, because those guys are nutrition freaks to begin with, and just fine tune, just fine tune what they have, because Uriah was pretty impressed with the book and the approach, and Scotty Jorgensen's actually a friend of mine, so, and he owns and runs the Twisted Gentile, so they're in Boise, so do the same thing with Scotty, and just that's the only thing right now that I know of that he's doing. But it's a good idea. I'm pretty sure that he has mentioned that he wants to do some web stuff, where he puts stuff up, with Coleman,
awesome.
Myself. That's probably another guy that we're gonna want to follow, because Coleman came off that hip replacement surgery, and he's on the diet, and he's feeling like $1 million, like a complete new man. So it's pretty awesome. He's like a big brother to me. So that's gonna be pretty amazing to watch him, have the success I know he's going to have.
Oh, man, I've had so much fun watching him over the years. I can't even mention how many times I watched Mark Coleman fight. He's one of the legends and one of the best, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think he'll feel good enough to pull a George Foreman and come out and do another one?
Well, I know we all want him to do that, but, him being like my big brother, I want him to focus on the business side now. but that'll be on him. But he's.
Hey, we gotta ask. We gotta ask.
Well, if it's up to Mark, damn well he's gonna do it. So he feels like $1 million. So you never know, if the right super fight came up or something like that, where I'm sure he would probably do something. But my suggestion to him would be to enjoy, his success and live off the residual of that, and start traveling and enjoying his life. So, but that's my own personal. I'm a little biased on that. So.
Well, we figured you're the best person to ask then. So,
no doubt.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, man, that's a really great way of looking at stuff, and coming from the Motor City, it's good to hear positive stories coming out of there. You hear so many bad things about Michigan and Detroit, and not just MMA or anything like that. Honestly, none of that's really as bad as what's really going on in Detroit. And so, how much does that play into your success? How much do you guys plan on involving city resurgence in successful business?
As far as the book is concerned and nutrition goes.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
If that's what you're asking, I can't even tell you how many people we've already reached out to, and from amateurs to non-fighters, and the thing is, in my opinion, where he did is he made the book simplistic enough that you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be an educated person to actually, sit there and read the book and go, oh, well, I know what this is. It's very simplistic. It's an easy approach. It's right in your face, and it's only $20. And, $20 is a lot to a lot of people, but, if you really think about some people and what they spend their money on, $20, they could do it. And it would change, and I promise you, I'm telling you, it's a life changer. And, and Frank's all over the place. He goes all over the place. He does do, like, he shows up for the benefits and different things, and he shows up, brings some books, educates some people, and, all the man wants to do is he truly wants to change the nation. The Age of Obesity is the name of the book, and, he's truly trying to change our nation and make sure that it's a healthier one. And I'm telling you from personal experience, I thought that I was an athlete. I thought that I was in shape. I thought that, I had everything under control, and until I met Frank. And as soon as Dr. Patino got a hold of me and just kind of like shook me and woke me up. And also, Mark Coleman was, Coleman's there too, he calls me JB. He's like, the clock's ticking, the clock's ticking, constantly telling the clock's ticking. And then Dr. Patino, good friend of mine, and he just goes, look, you need to do this. You need to do this for your health. Obviously I have 7 kids, so, I've got to make sure I'm around for them. And, it has nothing to do with fighting, just pure physical health. And it changed my life in 3 months to where I have never been under 30 pounds since my freshman year in college when I got in a car wreck. So, it's been a long time, So it's just just a healthier way.
It works.
Absolutely. There's no.
And gain muscle. Gain muscle. Well, hey man, that bell right there says we got just about 2 minutes left. So before I turn Perm loose, I need to get your contact information. We'd like to have a little fun, and I want to give you the tag team question. So if there were tag team MMA, who would you pick as a partner? This is open weight. And who would you like to face?
Open weight. Oh, geez. Well, obviously I would take Mark as my partner. And I think I'd like to go against Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell.
Woo! That was a great answer.
The reason you picked Tito?
What's that?
I said any particular reason you picked Ortiz?
Ortiz and I have a little bit of history. He's a good guy, but I'm just
gotcha.
I wouldn't mind.
Leave it at that. I got you, man. Oh, hell, Josh. Well, listen, man. With the last few seconds that we got left with you, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to, thank any sponsors that you may have, and also tell the listeners, how they can get in touch with you and follow along.
Okay. Well, obviously, I want to thank PatinoDiet.com, obviously, and Zion Bands, and as far as getting a hold of me or following me, I've got a Facebook and my Twitter, which is Josh Burns MMA. And that's pretty much the best way of doing it. I've got a website, too, which is Josh Burns, Josh the Hammer Burns. You can Google it. So that's the easiest way to follow me.
Yeah, and I just found it out, and it's got a big old Patino Diet logo banner at the top. So definitely check that out. Absolutely. Well, Josh, listen, man, for me, my co-host, Dave the Butcher, and also my producer, Chris Maltsburger, we really just wanted to say thanks to you, man, for taking the time to stop through, share your story with us tonight. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, guys. You guys stay blessed, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Right on, man. Thanks again. You take care. Have a good night, sir.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.